Walkaround family, welcome back to another video. Today we have a 2025 Honda Civic Sport Sedan in platinum white pearl with a black interior. For 2025, Honda has changed up the lineup, changed up the models, colors, even some exterior pieces on the Civic. We're gonna start off with the front bumper. They got rid of that fake fog light looking thing on the Sports and went with an actual functional bumper curtain. You can see right there's like a little pocket. The lower portion of the bumper is a different design. You can see it's really wide, but only this piece right here is more functional, but it gives you like a more mount style. The grille is different, and the headlight housing is darker and compared to the 24. So minor tweaks on the Sport just to make it a little bit different. The Sport is still a 2-liter. Below this, you have an LX that's also a 2-liter, non-turbo on both of those. If you go up to a Sport Hybrid and a Sport Touring, those two are hybrid only, and you also get a 2-liter with the hybrid powertrain, which is in the CRV and the Accord. So the 1.5 turbo in the Civic sedan and hatchback is now gone. And speaking of hatchback, LX is also not available as a trim level. Sport will be your new base model. But just taking a look at the Civic, besides the front bumper, everything else is very similar. The side profile is still the same. You still get your gloss black wheels. That's unique to the Sport. Everyone actually loves these designs here. The rims are 18. The tires are a 235/40 wall. Now this one does have a protection package, so you have wheel locks, splash guards, and a cargo tray. But let's take a look at that platinum white pearl. The sun is actually setting. Beautiful color. It just shimmers in the sun. You still have the wide windshield to give you better visibility. The updated Honda sensing camera that's wider from the previous generation of the Civic. The updated windshield wipers, and the side mirrors are gloss black up top, flat black down below. This is unique to the Sport. And around the window, you can see it's flat black as well. But the overall side profile, still the same as 24. Honda also added blind spot monitoring on the Sport. Previously, you would have to get an EX in the sedan, EX or Touring, to get blind spot monitoring. Now that's standard on Sport and up, so only the LX won't have standard blind spot monitoring. Coming along to the rear, design cues are very similar, almost the same. Even the rear bumper, the front bumper had most of the change, but the taillights are smoked, so they're much darker compared to the 24. Now on top of the roof, you do have a shark fin style antenna that is body colored, and no tint comes standard. Technically there's tinted, but they're not privacy from factory. You do have your capless fuel filler. You don't have to worry about turning, taking the cap on and off. And this will lock when the Civic locks. So if you lock the door, it locks that door. When it's unlocked, you can open it how I opened it. Honda emblem, chrome, Civic in chrome as well, Sport in chrome as well. You can get that blacked out. The tail lights are a combination still, so the brake lights are LED, turn signals and reverse lights, they look like traditional bulbs. Your license plate is LED bulb as well too for your license plate light, your license plate. Sport will still get a unique exhaust tip, which is, I love the look. I wish they had that on the hatchback. But overall on the outside, from the back, it's really hard to know if this is a 25 minus the smoked out taillights. Before we jump in there, I'm gonna show you guys a window sticker so you can see 25, Civic Sport, Sedan, platinum white pearl, 26,250 is your base price, 455 for your premium color. Destination and handling is 1095. You're looking at 27.8 for a Sport sedan with the premium color. Now, gas mileage is a little bit different. 31 city, 39 highway, and I believe it used to be 40 if I'm not mistaken. Also, horsepower is down for the 25 Civic, so it's 150 horsepower instead of 158. Now, I will explain that a little bit later, but Honda said that they changed the torque where the torque comes in under 4,000 RPM. So you have a little bit more power drive around town, but all up top is where the power fall off, which is why you lose some horsepower. If you're following Honda's design cues and their new key, you'll be familiar with this guy. So it's different than the previous Civic, where it's more of a rectangle. This is more curved, this is more smaller. You do have lock, you have unlock, you have remote start, standard on the key fob. You can pop the trunk from the key fob, and you have your panic button where you can make the alarm go off, and there is an emergency key in the key fob. If you have the smart key, you do have smart entry. So only on the driver door and passenger door, you can tap this. It'll lock it, those 3 little lines right there. Keys in your pocket, in your bag, in your purse, put your hand in there. It'll unlock for you. Now, by default, it'll only unlock the driver door, so the boogeyman will jump in with you when you're by yourself. But you can go into settings and change it where you put your hand in that door handle, it will unlock all 4 doors. By default, if you put your hand in the passenger door, it'll unlock all 4 doors. Take a look at the door card here. So you have, this is hard touch up top here. This is just flat black. Depending on what trim level you get, this will be different. And then you have your cloth material here, armrest cloth as well. Now, since we have hybrids now for 25, the hybrids do get a different color here. So that's how you kind of see the, so minor interior change versus the non-hybrids. You do have power windows. You have the hole for the rear, power up down on for the driver and passenger. You do have power locks, lock the window, power mirrors. You have some storage down there, little bottle holder storage down there. That's how you pop the trunk. The button is there. Taking a look at these seats, Honda still carry over the half leather and the half cloth seating. They're still the same as 24, and they're still manual as well. I'm not sure if the Sport Hybrid will get a power or you have to get the Sport Touring, but when I get one, we'll take a look at that. The passenger seat's also manual, but it's only forward and back, and then the back, forward and back, no up and down. So let's jump in here into the new 25 Honda Civic. Welcome to your Honda. In here should look very familiar because the interior is identical to 24. Honda hasn't really made any changes, especially on the Sport. I believe the Sport Touring got most of the changes. On the left side here, we're gonna have your traction control on and off, your dimmer switch. If you wanna pop the hood, you have that guy down there. And then you have your Sport pedals, which is on the Sport. Dead pedal does not match, but at least you get gas and brake. Sport pedals. You have an air vent over here. I'm not sure what Honda calls it, but the CRV, the Accord, the HRV all follow the Civic with this new design where it looks like it's a whole vent going across. Now, you still have a leather wrapped steering wheel like previous Sport, and it is single stitch there as well. You have more piano black in the middle of the steering wheel, kind of give you a more sportier feel. You do have some controls in the steering wheel, so next track, previous, volume. Source will switch from Apple CarPlay, AM, FM, whatever you're listening to. Home button will control the half digital, half analog screen there. You have your scroll wheel that controls the screen and voice command here. Behind this guy, you have your light controls, so you have off, auto, parking, and on, and you do have auto high beam standard, which is a nice touch. On the right side, you do have some of your cruise control and Honda sensing feature. You have cruise on and off, cancel, resume set. This is how you adjust the adaptive cruise control. This is how you turn on lane keeping assist. You do have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, plus and minus, which will control the CVT. You have virtual gears you can shift if you want to have a more spirited drive. You do have your wiper switches over here, so off, intermediate, low, and high. And let's take a look at the full digital, well, not full digital, let's take a look at the half digital, half analog display. So the right side will always be a speedometer. You also have a digital speedometer right there in the middle. Below that, you can see what drive mode you're in, your mileage, well, your odometer, outside temperature, gas gauge, what gear you in, all the good stuff. Now, if you're using the wheel over here, you can hit home and it'll bring up this menu right there where you can customize the display, where you can view what you want to view on there. And this will be the same thing just like the 24. So you can have warnings, range and fuel, this is the most popular thing everyone put on there, speed and time, driver attention, who got the seatbelts on, oil life, safety support. So here you can turn on and off some of your safety features. So road departure mitigation, your blind spot monitoring, collision mitigation as well. We'll get back to home. You can have nothing. Vehicle settings here, you can actually change some of your door settings, your safety feature settings, auto lock. I wonder if, because I don't think, if we go to door, auto door lock or unlock, and walk away auto lock, so you can turn that feature on and off. It is off by default when you get your vehicle. So I'm gonna leave it on range and fuel. I'm gonna zoom out of there. Come along to your touchscreen display here. Same size as the 24 Civic, nothing has changed here. You do have Apple CarPlay, you have Android Auto, you have to plug your phone in to use that feature. And it is a touchscreen and you have physical knobs, so you get the best of both worlds. So next track, previous, volume, phone shortcut, AM, FM radio, USB or thumb drive or USB or Bluetooth, there we go. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, if your phone is plugged in, and you have a tuning button there and menu and back key. Easy to use. Down below that, you have your hazard and your air vents, like I mentioned earlier. They do feel pretty premium. This interior just feels premium for what it is, because this class is it's not supposed to be an expensive class, but you will really like the looks of the Civic. Now down below that, you do have your HVAC controls here. So you do have single zone On the Sport, I'm assuming the Sport Hybrid will be dual zone, because the Sport Hybrid to me looked like it's an EX, but it's a hybrid now that looks like this. But when we get one, we'll take a look at one of those. You have your fan speed, air circulation, front defrost, heated side mirrors now. I believe 24 did not get a heated side mirror. Not mistaken. I think that was EX and up. No heated seats. I'm assuming you need to go up to a Sport Hybrid to get heated seats. This is also a new change, 2 USB-C ports. So the previous Civic, I believe, only had USB-A. I don't think it had USB-C. So now you have a USB-C for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and USB-C for charging, and a power outlet as well. So now you need to bring out your USB-C cords, get rid of those USB-A cords. You have your phone storage here, or just any type of storage you want to put down there. Your shift knob is leather wrapped like the steering wheel, and you have park, reverse, neutral, and drive. You don't have an S because you do have a drive mode toggle here. Different models will allow you to, like the LX, don't have a drive mode. You have to shift the vehicle into a certain mode. Now I'm putting into reverse, show you guys the backup camera. Same backup camera as 24, so this is Honda's multi-link backup camera. So you have wide angle, normal, and you have looking straight down. And because you have blind spot monitoring standard now in the Sport, now you have cross traffic on and off. That will alert you if someone's coming from that way or that way. It's a nice feature. Now for the drive mode here, when you toggle it, you have ECON, normal, and Sport, which is nice to have. You have your engine auto shut off defeat button there. You have electronic parking brake and your brake hold on and off. I love this material that you use. I'm glad they didn't use the whole piano black on the central console here. This is cloth, of course, but single stitched. And then you have a little coin tray, and there's no plugins down there, just storage, just like the 24s. And then you have your glove box here that is not lockable, and it is damp, so you open slowly, but it's not lined, bin style. And above your touchscreen display, you do have your rear view mirror that's not auto dimming. You manually flip it if someone had their high beams on at night. Above that, you do have your interior lighting, and it is LED. And you do have your, I about to say your door visors, your sunshades, your sunshade visor. There we go. I forgot what name it was. This thing. No light in there, and I don't think there's a light in here for the driver either. Yeah, no light. I'm assuming Sport Hybrid will give you the light. No moonroof, but you do have a black headliner in the Sport, and the passenger seat, like I said, still follow the half leather and half cloth material. So we're gonna jump out of here and get into the second row where your passengers is gonna be. So this is how wide the rear doors open. The rear doors, hard touch, same type of material as well, hard touch, soft where you rest your elbow on the cloth, and you do have a window control. I forgot to mention the driver's door handle. I love this material that Honda uses. It supposed to look like aluminum. And then you have a little storage down there, a little bottle holder. And even the rear seats follow the half leather and half cloth, which is nice. They didn't even have to do that, but Honda did do that. Let's jump in here, and behind the driver's seat, no mat pocket, and no mat pocket behind the passenger either. No air vents and no USB anything back here as well. You do get an armrest. This is the leather material, so cup holders, armrests, and this is soft. And you have your car seats. I'm about to say pluggings, but like your anchors on both seats as well. And that's pretty much it. You got a light back here, and don't really got much going on. Take a look at the cockpit again. Very nice interior. It's not too much. It's not too in your face, and it's not too basic either. It's just the right amount. So let's jump out of here and take a look at the trunk space, because the Civic is still the same size as 24. Now this one does have a cargo tray, but your Civic comes standard with floor mats, carpeted floor mats, and just carpet. And the Sport will still give you a spare tire with tools and a donut. The Hybrid, I would assume, don't come with a spare tire, but we'll take a look at that when I get one. And you do have a front license plate bracket as well. And you can fold the seats down, you can split them. So you can see it looks like it's like a 60-40. So that's nice. I think LX is just one piece. You go up to the Sport, you get the 60-40 split. Welcome to the 2025 Honda Civic Sedan trim walk. Like I said, Honda switched up the trim levels for 25, so LX is still the same, Sport is still the same. Now the EX is a Sport Hybrid, and the Touring is a Sport Touring Hybrid. So looking at the Sport Sedan, It adds to or replace features that the LX already have standard. So for example, 3-mode drive system, ECON normal sport, get that on the sport. CVT with paddle shifters, you get that on the sport. Remote engine start, you get the 18-inch gloss black alloy wheels. You do get the all-season tires, 235/40 18s. Smart entry with walkway auto lock, heated gloss black power side mirrors, gloss finisher, leather wrapped steering wheel and shift knob, combination seats, sport pedals. You do get a better sound system, so 180-watt audio system with 8 speakers, blind spot information system with cross traffic monitor. Game changer, definitely a game changer on the sport. 60/40 split fold down rear seat backs, and you get a rear seat center armrest. So let's jump in. Let's build one up. Let's build us a 25. So here's the lineup: LX Sport, Sport Hybrid, Sport Touring, and we're gonna jump into the Sport. Now, all the sports is gonna have the 2-liter 4-cylinder, no hybrid, no turbo, just your NA 2-liter 4-cylinder. Now, let's take a look at some information on the engine, because the horsepower is 150 horsepower, so it is lower than the previous generation. I think previous generation was 158, if I'm not mistaken. So you lost 8 horsepower because they switched up the power band a little bit. So now you get more torque under 4,000 RPM. And up top is where the horsepower, kind of like where the torque drop off. So that's where you lose your horsepower up top. Honda figures most people just doing A to B driving just don't really care about having horsepower up top. You know, who's gonna be flying like that to get horsepower up there? But for everyday driving, you're mostly gonna be in that lower RPM range, stop and go traffic, things like that. And now you have a little bit more torque. So to some people that may be a big deal. 6 horsepower, you can't feel it, but this is not the first time Honda did this. When the SI, I think the current generation SI debuted, they went to 200 horsepower versus it was 205 in the night gen, but the torque I think kicked in a lot earlier in the current gen than not the night gen, the 10 gen, right? No, the 10 gen they went to 205 or 200. I can't remember, but I think it was 205, and then either 10 gen, 11 gen, it went down to 200 because they added more torque. Anyways, you're looking at 31 city, 39 highway, 34 combined. I think gas mileage went down by a gallon. I think highway used to be 40 and 35 was combined. I'm not too sure. Gotta take a look at 24 to remind myself. Let's take a look at some color options that's available on the 25. So you have crystal black pearl. Black interior is the same color interior in all the colors in the Sport. So you can't get a different color interior in the Sport. So I'm not gonna go through the interior color on every color. You have crystal black pearl, already a color we already have. Meteorite gray metallic, it's a gray they've been using as well. Rally red, no premium price for that color. You do have solar silver metallic, which is a new silver. This silver is much lighter than lunar silver. Lunar silver was a darker silver. The average person, to be honest, is not gonna notice, but there's a new silver. Here are the premium colors. You have a new blue lagoon pearl, which interested to see that color in person. $455 more for that color. And then you have platinum white pearl, also a premium charge. We've been using this color. This is what we did a walk around today on. And then you have urban gray pearl, which replaced sonic gray pearl, which is a nice look on the Civic as well. That's also $455 more. So interested to see those colors when I get one. And let's take a look at some of the wheel options. So you either have your standard 18-inch gloss black alloy wheels, and then you have these black coal alloy wheels. And I'm not gonna hold you, these things look nice. This is a nice looking wheel. And usually I don't like whenever Honda have like an extra wheel you can add on. I usually don't like it for the Civics, but this is nice. If I would get one of these, I'll probably get these wheels, to be honest. That's a nice looking wheel. I usually don't like the additional wheels, but I like this one. This one's actually pretty fire. Let's take a look at some of the packages you can have. So you have all season 1, 2, and a protection package. So I don't see an HPD package. So I'm not sure if they still have that for 25 or not. I'm sure maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But these are your 3 packages there. And then for accessories, we always got to start off with electronics. So engine block heater, that's pretty much it for the Sport. If we go on the interior, look like you have all your basics, all season floor mats, cargo hook, cargo net. I don't see anything new for 25 on the interior. On the exterior, you got body side molding. You know, you got a deck lid spoiler. Actually, this looks a little bit different. No, that might be the same thing. I think the same thing you can add on the 24. Door visors, edge guard. One thing on the rear I showed you guys in the video is that the taillights are smoked, so they're a lot darker than the 24. So if you pair that with the black emblems, it's gonna look fire. It's gonna look fire, like kind of like that. Get the black Sport, black H with black Civic. That looks clean. That looks super clean with that. So, and look like you have a new underbody spoiler because you do have a different front bumper. Look like they changed up the underbody spoiler up front. It's an interesting design. It's very interesting. So that's different. And then you have the underbody spoiler in the rear, and this looks different too. It looks better than the 24's HBD or the underbody spoiler rear, however they call it. It got an HBD sticker on there, but the design looks better. I don't know. It could be the same design, but it looks better in my opinion. So you got that. And let's look at the side spoiler or the side skirt. See, this is different design too. I like how that looks, HBD on there. So I don't see an HBD package on here, but I see you can dress up with some HBD stuff. So don't know if Honda's gonna add it on there later or what's going on, but it's pretty interesting. I know I went over the window sticker in the video, but just kind of go over. Oh, hold on. What we got? Oh, well, why we got those wheels on there? Let's take those wheels off. Go to the standard wheels. I'm like, what's $1,800? All right, so we got base price $26,250, platinum white pearl $455, destination handling $1095. You're looking at $27,800 MSRP. Now on the 24 right here, it'll tell you about the Honda Service Pass, where it was 2 years, 24,000 miles. I think you can get up to 2 oil changes a year, and it's complimentary oil change, oil filter, tire rotation, multi-point inspection. I think for 25, either Honda is gonna drop that down to 1 year instead of 2 years, maybe 1 year, 12,000 miles. Or maybe they don't have it at all. I'm not too sure, but they're not stating anything right here. So if you have an LX and you're thinking about getting a Sport, I think a 25 is a good upgrade. But if you have a 24 Sport looking at if you have a 24 Sport looking at a 25 Sport, it don't make sense unless the blind spot cross traffic. Oh, so one thing I did mention in the walk around that I don't think I didn't. Did they mention the USB-Cs on the trim wall? Now that I think about it, I don't remember seeing anything about the USB-Cs unless that's standard on the LX. I don't know, because LX usually have one USB port, not two. Two USB-Cs standard on the Sport now as well. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you think about the Civic. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna catch you on the next walk around.